What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got UFC Fight Night, Luque versus the Sanos. Predictions breakdown here, guys. Before I get started, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to this channel. Also check out my Patreon account for all the face-off predictions and prop plays. And you can also donate to my PayPal account. We got 13 fights in this card. It's going to be at the Apex, smaller cage. Some interesting matchups here, man. I actually call this card this is your last shot. Because a lot of these guys, it's going to be their last shot, man. There's a lot of guys on 3-fight losing streaks, 4-fight losing streak, you know. It's a difficult card because we're dealing with a lot of guys, you know, who's dealing with a lot of mental, you know, and mental control the physical. So when you have that happening, you just don't know what the guy's going to do. You don't know if the guy's going to show up and fight, which majority of the fights, they don't show up. So you can call this one you're in or you're out. In or out, right? That's basically it. This is your last shot. First fight here, guys. We have Julian Miller versus Luana Santos. Julian Miller here, striking is still in the works. You know, she will hustle for the takedowns. Also look for submissions. Very aggressive, but she take a lot of hit though. You know, mostly she's good in the ground and pound if she can get you down. You know, but she's fighting an opponent here who's making their debut in Luana Santos here, who's, I believe, judo black belt and also has a BJJ blue belt, right? From what I see from her, man, she's pretty legit. Her foundation, her striking kind of suspect though, but her throws and her base is strong, and even her, you know, her submission games is strong too. She just has, in my opinion, she has more of the technicality. I feel with Miller, she's just all over the place, but that doesn't mean Miller can't win though, you know, because Miller, I believe, won the tough. Yeah, she won the tough competition there, but you know, experience goes a long way, and yeah, she won the tough, and she could be the more experienced woman here, but it's just a matchup. I just feel that Santos is a more skilled fighter, you know, with a stronger foundation, stronger base. So I'm going to go with Santos here, guys. I'm going to say Santos by decision, but this fight is a 50-50, man. So be careful with this one. Next fighter, we got Damon Blackshear versus Jose Johnson. Man. Damon here, he's not bad, man. He's pretty well-rounded guy. Striking not bad. A power hitter there. His ground game is where he strives, though. You know, has a lot of submissions under his belt. So he's definitely will look to submit you. Right, his opponent here, Jose, I believe, coming up to the contender series here. I believe got a split decision. I believe, was it? Or did he lose the contender series? Actually, Ronnie Lawrence. He lost against Ronnie Lawrence. Hold on there. He was in the contender. Oh, he lost against Ronnie Lawrence in the contender series. Oh, okay, okay, he won the contender series. Okay, in 22. So he fought contender series twice. Okay, and he got a win over Jack Cartwright here. What I see from Jose here, I mean, he has the, he has a mental toughness, but nothing don't really shine too much from him, you know. I mean, striking is, I guess, is okay, and he has a little ground game there, but I feel like the more experienced guy and the more seasoned fighter is going to be Blackshear here, in my opinion, and even with the submissions, man. So I'm going to go Blackshear here by submission, first round, guys. I give Blackshear like 60%. Jose like 40. All right. Next fight here, guys. We got Montserrat Ruiz versus Jacqueline Amour. With Ruiz here, Ruiz is very aggressive, man. Very straightforward pressure. Have a heavy wrestling game there. She likes that head and arm choke, where she will lock you down there. She will flip you and have your head and have the arm there and try to pin you up, and just throw a lot of strikes. Like I said, strong wrestling base, has more of a stocky kind of physical build there, right? She throw power hits in the pocket. Her opponent here, though, Jacqueline. Jacqueline is going to have a 6-inch reach, 3-inch of height, which is massive. She will also look for the submissions, which that's all she really looks for is a submission. You know, I mean, all first-round submissions, man, basically. Except for a loss against Hughes, which she lost the fight by decision. But it seemed like if she can't finish in the first round, she gets tired. You know, I don't like to see that too much. Even though she trained in American Top Team, which is a good camp, but She gonna need to submit Ruiz real fast here in the first, because the longer the fight go, I can see Ruiz getting stronger here, man. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, BJJ black belt, I mean, she has the credentials to pull off a win if she can get the submission. But what happens if she don't get the submission? I'm relying on her to get a submission in the first round. That's all she really got in the first round. I'm gonna go with Ruiz here, guys. Again, I could be wrong. You know, she's gonna have the massive height and reach, which a lot of girls are gonna be bigger than Ruiz. You know, because she's 5'6'1". She's small, she's tiny, but then she can get under you though. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ruiz here, guys. But this one is a 50-50 because Jacqueline could win, but it's just a condition cardio. I don't know if she's gonna have that cardio. I don't know if she will be able to pull off the submission in the first round. She probably could, but I don't know, man. That's kind of a you know, I'm relying on her to get her first on submissions, and you look at Ruiz. Ruiz is pretty good on the ground. She's not experienced. You know what I mean? She has a lot of tough competition. You know, from what I see. You know what I mean? It's not like she don't have no experience, man. So I'm gonna go with Ruiz here. And it's not like, again, Jacqueline has the punching power. You know, really got no punching power like that. Ruiz struggle against Amanda here because Amanda freaking hits hard. Like, she's a freaking heavy hitter, man. She's one of those women that, you know, like Amanda Nunes, like Chichenko. You know, they kind of pack that power, you know. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ruiz here. I'm going to say Ruiz by decision, but like I said, I'm not confident. It's a 50-50, guys. Next fight, we got Jasper Parisian versus Martin Buday. Parisian, man, I mean, all these guys belong here, you know what I mean? But fight IQ, not the best, man. He's well-rounded, though. He's heavy-handed, but he's hittable. Can get taken down, man. You know what I mean? Guy like Buday, though. Buday this guy's a decent prospect in a kind of way. He's durable and he's well-rounded, and that's the thing. He's durable and he's smart. He has a smart fight IQ. Kind of slow in the beginning, slow starter, but he can take you down, ground and pound, and do all those things. He's very well-rounded, and his gas tank is not bad, and he's heavy. So I'm gonna go with Buday here. I'm gonna say Buday by decision, and it's like a Buday 70 and Parisian I give 30. All right. Next fight here, guys. We have Francis Marshall versus Isaac Dologren. Marshall here. He's a well-rounded dude, man. Coming off the Contender Series. At times he can get hittable though. You can touch him up a little bit, but I feel that, you know, he has been through, you know, a lot of, you know, fights here, and a lot of up and downs, you know, which is not much, but obviously some of the fights them, you know, he could struggle a little bit, but he pulls off the win. Like this close fight against Gomez here, you know, it was a very close fight. But I feel like he's a more seasoned fighter with a little more experience here. And what I see from Isaac, couldn't find much footage. Like 2 fights I see, he just comes out the gate, man, and it's all first round finishes, man. Even his amateur, all by submission, man. And I know when, like what I mentioned to you, you know, when you see fighters like that, just getting submissions like that, first round, and it's like they never really, you know, face any tough competition. You know what I'm saying? Like the resistance. I don't feel like he has that. Face that person is going to put it on him and give him that resistance, and that's what happened when you're just flying through guys and you go to a different organization like the UFC and you face guys who are a little tougher, you know, with a lot more caliber of skills, you know, and have been through it. It's going to be tougher, man. Then they can put some resistance on you, and then that first round submission you may not get it in the first. Then how are you going to look in the second? So that's my thing. But what I see from him though, he has a punching power too, and he can get it by knockout or ground and pound. But I just feel Marshall is just a little more experienced here, a little more seasoned guy, man. So I'm gonna go with Marshall here, but still this is still a 50-50 for me though. So don't sleep on Isaac. I'm gonna say Marshall decision 50-50. All right. Next fight here, guys, we got Terrence McKinney versus Mike Breeden. It's a short notice for Terrence McKinney, man. He just came off a loss. He came off a fight recently. I believe he lost by submission, I believe, like last month. So it's a quick turnaround for him. But again, it's a short notice. You know, tell me about Terrence McKinney, man. I mean, he's well-rounded, you know, has a wrestling base, and he's heavy-handed if he catches you in the first round. But he gasses out so bad, man. And also he's in a short notice fight. You know, while I was breaking on this fight, I was kind of pushing towards more Terrence McKean. I was like, oh, maybe he can come in here and then, you know, probably get the submission. You know what I mean? Or even a knockout in the first. But then when I look and see he's a short notice, you know, I was like thinking like, so how is he going to look at short notice? If he has full camps and he's gassing out like that, what is he going to look like when he's not in camp and he's not really preparing and he's short notice? I mean, if he doesn't get a finish in the first, if he doesn't get the finish in the first, then he's done. And fighting a guy like Mike Breeden is a dog, man. This guy's a dog, and his fight against Nathan Levy wasn't bad. Nathan Levy was trying to take him down, just pop him back up. He was touching up Nathan Levy with a couple of shots too, with a couple of the heavy hands he has there. You know, Mike is a little more heavy-handed here. Like I said, we'll look for takedowns. You know, will also slow down, but doesn't slow down too bad. You know, he still keeps a pace. You know what I mean? But it just Terrence McKean, man, is like he cannot keep a pace, dude. And if he doesn't finish Mike in the first round, most likely he's gonna lose the fight. That's just what it is. So I have to switch my play. I was kind of going for Terrence, but man, the short notice thing and just the gas tank issue. And what I see from Mike is a dog, man. He's going to let the hands go, and he's good in the pocket. And his takedown defense is not bad either. I'm going to say Mike Breeden by KO TKO, guys, in a second. Still a 50-50 though, man. Alright, let's see here. We have next fight, we have Marcos McGee versus JP Buys, man. Like I tell you guys, a lot of these fights, or the guys are out. You know, it's either you win, if you lose, you're out. You know what I mean? It's going to be the last straw for a lot of these guys, supposedly. I mean, I'm surprised that a lot of these guys are still on the card, or still fighting in the UFC, but it is what it is. So, a guy like McGee here, he's a well-rounded guy. You know, I like what I saw from him in his last fight. He's heavy-handed. Seems very durable, you know. I like what I saw when he fought Journey Newson's there. He got submitted though by a rear naked choke by Rafael Nazamento though, back in 22. So, you know, there's could be slight little holes there with his ground game. You know, he likes to strike more though, but you know, he pulled off his first submission against Journey Newson's. But this is a guy that just came into the UFC. You know, I mean, it wasn't a contender series. It was like a short notice for him. So now they're giving them, you know, I guess a good matchup here against short notice and Buys. So Buys is also short notice here, man. Now you're gonna say, you know, with JP Buys now, it's like, yo, it's like he's supposedly moving up in weight, so that could benefit him. You saw when he fought Mantle Jackson, when he move up in weight, he handled the punches better. It seems like when he's at 125, you know, he gets hurt easily. You know, when you're cutting weight like that and your body's drained out, and the minerals and vitamins are out your body, and you gotta hydrate back up, sometimes you don't perform as well. And then when you get touched up, you get flash knockdowns, you get knocked out. Yeah, because you're struggling, you know what I'm saying? You're cutting a lot of weight. And it's not good on the body, it's not good on the brain. You know what I'm saying? So when you perform, you know, you may not perform as well and you get hurt easily. Especially when you get touched up. Seems like at 135 he handled the shots better. So for this fight here though, man, Buys is very hittable dude. And can get hurt in the foot and knocked down. Mostly at 125. This is 135, so this is kind of different. Short notice, and realistically, Buys is more experienced guy here. You know what I'm saying? He's a more seasoned fighter in my opinion. I feel Marcus McGee, you know, he's still coming up. You know, I can still see holes and stuff like that. But he's at a good camp at MMA Lab, so he's still a good guy, you know what I mean? But Buys can win this fight. But again, man, it's a dangerous one to pick here, man. I'm going to go with Buys here, though, man. I'm going to say Buys by submission in the first round. But just at 135, he performs a little better. You know what I mean? At 135, he performs a little better. So, he could lose by decision. I mean, you just never know, man. So, I'm going to say Buys here. I'm going to say Buys by first round submission, but I'm not confident here. Like I said, Buys can't take a shot. You touch him, he goes out. 135 is a little different though, so let's see what happens. Buys by submission in the first round. Next fighter, we got Josh Fremd versus Jamie Pickett, man. 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 In or you out. You're in or you out, man. Mostly for Jamie Pickett, man. But Josh Fremd here. Striking can look suspect at times, but it seems to sharpen up a little bit now. It looks a little better. You know, we mix up the kicks to punches, kind of heavy with the hands, heavy with the body kicks and the leg kicks. And his wrestling is pretty decent. You know, you look for double leg and mixed up and look for submissions there, right? And with this guy here, he's more mentally on, man. He's more mentally stable, which is very important. Your mind has to be right? Jimmy Pickett, on the other hand, is that guy that is freaking has it. He has everything. He's athletic, skill guy. You know, he's pretty well-rounded guy, but he can get taken down though. But he's a pretty well-rounded guy, but he struggles mentally. I mean, you can tell on his record, you know, back-to-back losses. You know, is this a fight that he can win? Man, that right there, guys, is up to Jimmy Pickett. Up to Jimmy Pickett to decide that one, if he can win or not. You gotta listen to that voice inside of him. You gotta listen to his intuition, that voice inside that says, man, you got this, man, you got this, man, you got this, man, you got this, man. If you can't hear that voice in him, not what other people are saying on the outside, you gotta hear that voice inside of him. You know what I'm saying? If you can't hear that voice and then go along with it, then it's gonna be the same outcome. I'm gonna go with Josh here, man, but I believe Jamie may have a chance here, but it's all up to Jamie, and I don't know what's going on within Jamie. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know his soul, his spirit inside of him, his energy inside of him. I'm not sure, you know. I'm not sure what direction, or if he's even listening to his inner. So Josh, I'm gonna say Josh by submission in the second round, and I'm not confident because you know, there's still a little light there for Jamie, like, you know, a little tiny light that he may have a chance here. But man, it's kind of tough. 50-50 submission second round. Josh, not confident. Next fight here, guys, we got Tafon Nachikwini. Yeah, Tafon Nachikwini. I think I pronounced that right. Versus AJ Dobson. Tafon, your power hitter, but it's the next guy. He's hittable, kind of slow at the movement, and will drop the ball, man. He'll be winning the fight, and all of a sudden he loses, you know, or he get caught. His opponent here, AJ Dobson, actually doesn't look bad, man. You know, still kind of greenish still, but he has potential. His defense is not bad. His movement is not bad. His athleticism, his wrestling is not bad. His striking is not bad. He just seems like not to. He seems like with him, he doesn't. His output is not enough. You know, he throw punches, but if you just up the output, just put more in it, you know what I'm saying, put a little bit more, like next 50% in it, you know, then, you know, he will be finishing his fights and, you know, win the fights. Just that he's kind of holding back, you know what I'm saying. So he's not putting out enough output there. But I'm kind of liking AJ here, man. I'm gonna say AJ by decision. I think he will make changes in this fight here. You know, his fight against Arman. You know, even against Jacob, even though Jacob was taking him down in that fight, kind of outgrinding him out and wrestling and mixing up more. I just feel like, you know, with the Arman fight, he was throwing punches, but he just wasn't doing enough. And Arman was just landing. You know, with Arman was doing a lot more. With Tafon is going to throw, but he's a little bit slower. I just feel like with AJ, he's a little more athletic, a little more, you know, movement and defense. I feel like he's going to do better in this one. So I'm going to go with AJ. I'm going to say AJ by decision. It's a 50-50. Next fight here, guys. We got Paulino Viviano versus Iasmin Lucindo. Viviano here is well-rounded. She can get taken down, and when you take her down, she can be on her back, and she spend all the rounds on her back trying to look for submissions. Her striking is, you know, is kind of elusive with pick her shots and push forward depending on who she's fighting. Against Junior Fry, who was just there to get hit, you know, it's when you're there to get hit and the person's not throwing back, it can make it kind of easier, right? Her opponent, though, Iasmin. With Iasmin here, but I see from Iasmin, she's well-rounded, aggressive, will look for the ground, and her striking is very aggressive. You know, she throws heavy, right? And she has a dog in her, man. This girl is going to come to fight. She's going to throw back. So with Viviana here, Viviana's gonna come and throw, but I see from Viviana sometimes she's hittable, especially her, because her head don't leave the center line. And with Usman, I feel that Usman gonna touch her up a little bit with some shots. You know what I'm saying? Tough one to call though, but I'm gonna say Usman for the win. Usman Lucindo by decision here, and there's a 50-50 for me, guys. All right. Next fight here, we have Khalil Rountree versus Chris Daukaus. Khalil Rountree, man, this guy has improved a lot, and his ground game got better, takedown defense, and even his striking. And the most important thing that a lot of people are struggling on this card is his mental. His mental improved, which, like I said, is hard to teach mental. That's up to you. You gotta listen to that fire inside of you. You gotta listen to that light inside of you, and then it will guide you. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to succeed in, you listen to that light inside of you, and that's what you should be listening to, your inner. Take advice from people, but make sure you listen to your inner voice. That's the most important thing. He listened to his inner voice. The other people on this card hasn't. So I can say that this guy right here mentally has improved, which is very important because the mental controls everything else. Chris Daukaus is going down to 205. He's well-rounded, that heavyweight. I believe he was fighting at that 265 weight class, or the heavyweight weight class, because he was a quicker guy. He had speed, so he was able to hit the guys quicker. But what happened now that he was getting caught now and getting knocked out. So the caliber of fighting, or the guys got more experience and they hit heavy. So his speed, yeah, but he couldn't reach them quick enough and they catch him and knock him out, or he wasn't throwing enough. Is he going to be good at 205 against Khalil Rountree? That's a tough one, man. He takes a lot of damage in these last 3 fights. These are all finishes back-to-back, man. 3 times been knocked out in a row. Khalil Rountree is a heavy hitter who's mentally focused and been working on himself. And he's dropping down to 205, which Chris Daukaus is. I don't believe he ever fought at 205 before. How is he going to look at 205? Will he gas out? I mean, I don't know. I'm liking Rountree here. I'm going to say Rountree by KO guys in the second round. But it's still a 50-50 because, Chris could surprise you. When it comes to these MMA fights or any kind of fighting, can't count out your opponent. You know what I'm saying? So anything is possible, man, like we always say. It will surprise you. But Khalil Rountree by KO second round. Co-main event here, we got Cub Swanson versus Hakeem Dawodu. Swanson here, man, this guy's a veteran, very experienced guy, very well-rounded guy. Can win the fight anywhere the fight goes. Dawodu, though, Hakeem, he's a skilled fighter, but there's still little holes here and there, man, especially his ground game. And even with the striking, can get flat-footed, a lot of them more of a Thai style. Fighting Swanson going to be moving around, picking his shots. And Swanson going to be lighter on the foot here. It just seems like with Dawodu is, I don't know, it's just, there's things about him that needs to be fixed. Even in his striking and this all-around game. And I feel Swanson has a possibility to expose that. You know what I mean? So I'm liking Swanson here. I'm going to say Swanson by decision. But again, I'm not confident in this one. You never know. Hakeem come in here and land an overhand and hurt Swanson. You know what I'm saying? There's a possibility to knock him out. Anything is possible. But I'm going to go with Swanson by decision. I'm not confident, guys. 50-50. Main fight in the card, we got Vincent Luque versus Rafael dos Anjos. Vincent Luque, man, I don't know what to say about this one, man. He's a skilled guy, very experienced, and this guy's a good fighter, man. But there's a but, man. I watch interviews and stuff like that, and when I see guys talk about their brain is bleeding, man, that's not good, man. If I hear that a guy's brain is bleeding and he needs time to heal, because the brain is bleeding, in my opinion, it's time to hang it up, because it's too much of a risk now. I mean, you have to look at the reward. Is the risk worth the reward? I mean, yeah, you can make some money, but I mean, you can always do something else and make money. And it doesn't have to be that much money you need to make. You can downsize. I think your health means more. Your health is your wealth. Now, if he destroys himself, mess himself up, not wishing on the bad in the body, but your brain is bleeding. Can't be good, man. And then he's gonna go back in there and fight again and get hit in the head. And this is a guy that comes forward and his head don't really move up center line too much. So he takes a lot of damage. His last couple fights, he took a lot of damage, man. The biggest damage was against Neal. Took a lot of damage in that fight. Stephen Thompson took a lot of damage too. So in this fight, he takes a lot of damage, man, coming forward. And the brain is bleeding. When I heard it, I'm like, what? What? He's putting his life on the line here. He's putting his health on the line. He's dead. The brain bleeding and goes into a coma. They gotta put him in a coma and all these other things and becomes a vegetable. You know, anything to do with the brain, man. The brain bleeding and all these things. The brain that controls everything. Time to hang it up. That's just my opinion, but everybody gonna do what they need to do. To, you know, that's his journey. Everybody got their own journey to travel. So you choose wisely and go with what you got there and see where it takes you. That's it. So his opponent here, Sanos. Sanos is a very smart fighter though. This guy here is he's a very, very freaking smart fighter, man. IQ is off the shelf. He's a veteran, been in the game for a long time, since 2004. Been in UFC for a long time too. Been in UFC from 2008, man. Long, his whole career. I mean, you know, traded a little bit of losses here. You know, I wasn't a good winning streak for a little bit. I have to go to Sanos here, man. And you know, I may probably say yeah because the brain bleeding. You know, I mean, how much true is that? You know, could fighters be saying this? You know, yeah, you never know. You know, I can't really listen to everything they say, but you know, if he's saying his brain is bleeding and all these things, yeah, I can't be good. Yeah, I just feel like Sanos is just a better fighter here, like all around, you know. You know, and then from Luque last fight, he doesn't look good. It looks like he's not responding too well. Even before all that, the brain bleeding in his last fight with Neal, like response time is slow response time, man. So I'm gonna go with Sanos. I'm gonna say Sanos by decision. It's a 5-round fight. I'm gonna say Sanos by I'm gonna say by decision. It's a 50-50 still. You just never know, man. Maybe Luque come in here and do very well. It's a possibility. But 50-50, not confident. Alright. Look at the odds here, guys. We're working with. Let's see some of these crazy odds. I can guarantee these odds are crazy. Crazy odds. Dun, 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 dun. Crazy odds. Santos, 155. Really, I don't see nothing wrong with this. I feel like she's a more skilled fighter. Her base, her foundation is, she's more of the fighter with a lot more tools. And whatever Miller is going to do, I feel Santos does it better, in my opinion. So, could still be an even fight, but still be careful though. I wouldn't mess with this too much. Blackshear, 278, 300, damn. That kind of way I see Blackshear winning this fight, to be honest. What I see from Jose Johnson, just not really impressed with it. Jacqueline and Ruiz, damn. Jacqueline 250, whoa, this is off there, guys. What I see from Ruiz is a dog. What I see from Jacqueline is a first round finisher, guys. She has to finish Ruiz in the first round or she's not going to look good after that. I'm not sure how much she improved on her condition and her cardio, but all her fights is all first round finishers, man. Shouldn't be, 240 something. That's freaking bananas. Be careful with this one for real, guys. Alright. Parisian and Buday 198. I really don't see nothing wrong with that. I feel like he's a better fighter. Yeah. It's heavyweights though, so heavyweights, so still be careful. Francis and Isaac. Francis 185. This fight here, still be careful here, guys. What I see from Isaac, he doesn't look bad, man. So this fight to me is kind of a still even fight. So be very careful. Mike Breeden, Terrence McKinney, 265, 290. What? These guys are. This is going back to the same fight here with Jacqueline. These guys are first round finishers, man. If they don't finish a fight the first round, and the people that they're fighting are dogs, meaning that it's hard to finish them. They're not easy to finish. So why the hell? And he's short notice at 265, 290? You must be on crack. Don't mess with this. I'll go dog or under, man. I mean, sorry. I'll go, yeah. I go dog, yeah, fade or under, pass or dog, or pass and under, whatever you want to call it. All right, but big dog or pass. I mean, oh, this is nuts, dude. This is freaking nuts, man. Terrence McKinney is, dude. That guy is hittable, and he relies on a couple things to win a fight. And if he doesn't get those couple things in the first one, it's over. This is bananas. I understand he was fighting a guy that was like not that good at all. Mike Breeden is not a bad fighter, and his hits heavy, and he has conditioning and cardio and defense. Do what you want to do, but I'm actually liking Breeden. JP buys on the oh damn, they did it again. McGee at 400? No. This guy took a short notice fight. Won it. Okay, looks decent. Okay, against Newson, which is, Newson is not really wasn't a top caliber fighter. I believe Newson is coming off for maybe a one win or a couple of losses. No, he's at 400 and something. Marcus McGee's at 400 and something against a guy like Baez who's experienced. Be careful with this one, man. Be freaking careful. I'm liking Baez, but I would dog or pass this one too, guys. Just Fremd 300 and something. It's the next one here. Now, everybody on this card, mentally wise, I would say the guy with the, more of the mental, that's not, too well, will be Pickett. And as far as mental weakness, number one guy would be Pickett, meaning that, he just seems to be doing the same thing and there's no improvement. At least with Baez will go in there and then fight it out and still show some dog and still show some heart. With Pickett, there's no heart and the mental is done. You know what I'm saying? With Khalil Rountree, he completely improved. This fight here, man, be very, very careful. Because, like I said, same thing. Baez could win. I have Baez winning. I don't have Pickett winning. Like I said, I feel like he just... The guy he's fighting, Josh, I feel Josh just has a little bit more. He's still well-rounded. He still has the skills. It's not like Pickett is fighting a guy that's like doesn't have anything to win. He has the things to beat Pickett. Josh has the tools to beat Pickett. That's the whole thing. So it's not an easy fight for Pickett. But Josh is high as hell. I'll still be careful with this one, man. Alright? Dacos and Rountree 170. I don't have no problem with that. I can see Keller winning this fight. It's not too high either. Still be careful. AJ Dobson and Tough One at 142. I said this fight is an even fight. It's not too much of a odd on Tough One, but I like AJ, but still be careful. Viviano, she's plus 160. Okay, so she's an underdog in this one. They got Islam as favorite. Still feel Usman is a little bit too high in the odds, but I have her winning though, but she's a little bit too high here. Viviana could get a submission. It's a possibility. She's still experienced and still have the skills, but it's just a matchup. It's just like, look at Viviana, don't do good against women that's going to throw back. So, still be careful, guys. Swanson and Hakeem Abdu is a favorite. Such a high favorite too over Swanson. What? That's freaking nuts. I'll be careful with this one too, guys. The odds in here are crazy. I'm liking Swanson here, but I can see Hakeem winning, but not at this. Very careful. Vincent and Rafael dos Anjos, even fight. I don't disagree. I do not disagree with that. This is perfectly even here. Alright? So that's it right there, guys. Just my odds breakdown. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. You can hit up my Patreon account. Also donate to my PayPal. And that's it right there, guys. One love out to everybody. And